Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today, I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today, and this article popped up in my inbox, and it was perfect because it's from my favorite motivational speaker, Jim Rohn. So I wanted to share it with you today. And so it's an article from Jim Rohn. Obviously, he's passed, but so obviously he must have wrote this before he passed. But so it's 4 reasons why you should think like an ant. So when was the last time you saw ants reach an obstacle and give up and put their heads down and head back to the anthole to relax? Seriously, never, right? So here's another question. How much will an ant gather during the summer to prepare for winter? The answer is all that it possibly can. Imagine what you could accomplish if you never quit and you always did all that you could do. I mean, it's pretty powerful. I think everybody should study ants and their philosophy. It's simple, but it's powerful. So number 1, ants never quit. That's a good philosophy. You know, if ants are headed somewhere and you try to stop them, they'll look for another way. They'll climb over, they'll climb under, they'll climb around. They keep looking for another way, no matter what. What a neat philosophy to never quit looking for a way to get where you're supposed to go. Number 2, ants think winter all summer. That's an important perspective. As much as we wish, summer's not going to last forever, right? So ants are gathering their winter food in the middle of the summer. An ancient story says, don't build your house on the sand in the summer. Why do we need that kind of advice? Well, because it's important to be realistic. In the summer, you've got to think of the storm. You have to think ahead. And number 3, ants think summer all winter. So that's so important. During the winter, ants remind themselves, this won't last long. We'll soon be out of here. And at the first warm day, the ants are out. And then if it turns cold again, they'll dive right back down into the anthill. But then they'll come out the first warm day, and they can't wait to get out. So number 4, ants think all you possibly can. How much will an ant gather during the summer to prepare for the winter? All he possibly can. Ants don't have quotas. They don't have good enough philosophies. They don't gather a certain amount and then head back to the hole to hang out. If an ant can do more, it does. Want an incredible philosophy? The all you can philosophy. So never give up. Look ahead, stay positive, and do all you can. Isn't that an amazing article? I love Jim Rohn. I love everything about him. He just has such a simple way of looking at things. And basically what Jim Rohn is saying here is never give up, right? So sometimes that can be hard. And so I went looking and I found some ways to help you keep going, even when every fiber of your being wants to give up. So the first one is ignore everyone else. You know, it's easy to think that everyone else has it easy. Maybe they're moving past you and you're wondering why that you're not up there with them. And it can make you feel bad about yourself. But when I stopped worrying and stopped comparing myself to everyone else's journey, it opened me up to being able to focus on my own mission and how I was going to achieve it. As you work towards your dream, it can be easy to get distracted when you see others achieving their goals easier or faster or better than you. It can make you feel inadequate and unsatisfied with your own progress. But when it really comes to conquering a goal, what happens with others is actually irrelevant when it attracts you from your ability to move forward. It doesn't matter what they're doing. You know, we talk about being in your own lane, right? Stay in your lane and don't worry about what they're doing. Just focus on you. When you're tackling a difficult task, you need every ounce of energy you can muster. So make sure to channel it to a place that's going to propel you forward. And so you're not worrying about somebody else. The next one, become your biggest supporter. Sometimes it can be really frustrating because it feels like those people who are supposed to care about you aren't there for you. You know, it just feels that way sometimes, you know, but just know that your burden isn't theirs to bear. And a lot of times they're living their own lives. They've got their own things going on. They don't really understand what's happening with you. And although, sure, it can be energizing to have others around to motivate you and support you, having them there with you is a luxury, not a requirement. That's really important to remember. Having them there with you is a luxury, not a requirement. Sure, it's great to have them there, but knowing that allowed me to turn more inward to find the strength and the determination to keep going. And so I began to encourage and high five myself with every step, right? It's you can't depend on other people to be high-fiving you and telling you how great you are. You have to do it. So sometimes on the road to success, you have to walk alone. If you find yourself in that position, then find a way to give yourself what you need to continue, right? And the next one, stop and appreciate the little things. It can be so easy to focus all your energy on reaching your ultimate goal, but if the only thing you see is the end destination, you're going to miss all the beauty along the way. So here's your goal way out here, but the journey is here. The journey is you moving closer and closer to your goal, and there's all this stuff that's happening in here. You don't want to leave that out. That's your life. That's the breadth of your life. That's you're living your experiences, and the new experiences and the welcome surprises provide provide you the fuel to keep going. And seriously, what good is life if you're just going to say, here's my goal, boom, I'm there? Well, then you die, right? You have to have the whole in between. So seriously, appreciate the little things along the way. And then the next one, focus on the next step. It can be so it can be so discouraging to see how far you are from your goal. My big goal right now in my business is executive leader. And that seems so far away to me because I'm here and I need to be way up here. But it helps a lot to chunk it down into mini milestones that makes the steps manageable. Accomplish that step. So you've got this step and then this step and then the next step and then the next step. So when your goal feels too big, it feels impossible, which opens the door for resistance to creep in. It opens the door for you to be unsure and for you to second guess yourself. Break it down into bite-sized pieces and keep yourself in motion. Just go for the next step, the next step, the next step, and build momentum. That's how you're going to get to your goal. And then the next one, throw your watch out the window. When we want something really bad, we can easily get frustrated at ourselves for not being good enough or not going fast enough. And I know for me, that's a real struggle. I want it and I want it now, right? For me, it's even worse because if you've listened to my story, I mean, I'm not going to go back into it now, but I stupidly gave up my Avon business many, many years ago. And now I'm back. And that's, like I said, a whole different story. But now I need to accomplish so much to just be where I was when I walked away. So I was here and I walked away and I fell down here. And now I'm just trying to get back to here so I can grow. So for me, it's catch up, right? But you know what? Nobody cares how long it takes for you to achieve your goals. And I shouldn't be concerned about that either. All that really matters is that I'm back and I'm working and I'm going to achieve that title eventually. And I'm focusing on the journey. And that's something I have to remind myself because there's so much there. Like I said, the in-between part, there's so much there. And you have to appreciate that for what it is, right? So as you're working to reach your goals, stop looking at the clock. Stop measuring yourself against someone or something else. It's only going to serve to distract you. It's only going to keep you from focusing on what you need to do right now to move forward. And then the next one, stop looking for a way out. When your pain is right there at the forefront of your mind, it's natural to make it want to go away, right? But when you invest time looking for a way to abort your journey or how to make it like the easy way, you're wasting precious energy that could be used to help you overcome that momentary pain. And you're missing out on that long-term growth because you're too busy looking for an easy out, an easy way, or shortcut. So don't do that. And then the next one, acknowledge your limitations. So the road to success might not look like everyone else's. Your road is going to be different than everybody else. That's totally normal and that's okay. Everyone's situation is different. Instead, acknowledge where you are so you can give yourself what you need to be successful. As you work to achieve your goals, there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be bumps and bruises. We all have those, right? But when the journey becomes more uncomfortable than what you're used to, it can be easy to throw in the towel and retreat. And that's a mistake. I can tell you that. That's a big mistake. I learned that the hard way. But hey, I know you. You got this. You can do this. I know it. So follow these suggestions. Don't ever give up. Be that ant that Jim Rohn talked about and find the strength you need to keep going even if you're in the midst of difficulty. And when you persist, you're going to discover that the reward is so worth it and the journey is so worth it. So hey, Now I'd love to hear from you. What do you do when you feel the urge to give up? I mean, what kind of tips do you have that you can share with us? We'd love to hear. So please get below in the comments and share with us. And that's what I have for you today. So have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.